This is the Louie T Network.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie T. Welcome to Lockdown Coverage week number 14. The National Football League, San Francisco 49ers taking on the Houston Texans. And it's all about Jimmy Garoppolo, the Jimmy G show in Frisco is all we care about with this 49er season. These final 5 games of the season, started the last 2, these last 3 games coming up. All you want to see is more progression and growth from Jimmy G in Kyle Shanahan's offense. It's going to give you the indication whether they're going to hold on to him, find a way to get to a long-term deal, have to use the franchise tag, what may have you. What you've seen after these first 2 games with Jimmy G in the lineup as a starter, 2 wins. First time the 49ers have won 2 in a row in about 3 years now. So he's already coming in and changing the way this team is being viewed. And I must tell you, he's been ultra impressive. There's a lot to discuss and comb through in this game, and we'll get to that in a second. For the Texans, the quarterback carousel continues. You lose Tom Savage to a concussion that he wanted to come back in the game from, and it was a mess. They had to keep him out of the game, and the NFLPA is looking to work with the league on how to better protect these players for themselves, and so that could turn into a whole mess there. But then you get Tyler Jonathan Yates. He should be an honorary member of this Texans football team because every time they need a quarterback to come in off the street out of nowhere, they just pick up the phone. It's like he's sleeping in the basement of this Texas organization. Hey, TJ, we need you to start. Can you come upstairs for a little bit, for a couple hours? You can go back down. Sure, I'll be up there in a second. Here comes Tyler Jonathan Yates off the bench, and he gave him a shot in the arm. I mean, they were down in this game. He comes in, throws 2 touchdown passes to Nuke, and all of a sudden, they're up in this game. But it was short-lived, and Jimmy Garoppolo and the Jimmy G show continues in Frisco as he was able to lead them to a 26-16 victory over the Texans and was very impressive in doing so. Let's talk about Jimmy Garoppolo and that 49ers offense first because they're the main attraction in San Francisco right now. They're the only reason this team is worth watching as of right now. And boy, he's starting to look really comfortable in Kyle Shanahan's offense. And I love the way he's facilitating the football, spreading it around to everyone. Kyle Juszczyk, who they spent a lot of money on in the offseason to get him away from the Ravens, is looking like a guy that you should have spent a lot of money on to get away from the Ravens. I mean, you pried him away from them, spent a lot of money on doing so. Remember, they changed his title because the owner said, you can't spend that much on a fullback. Okay, fine. He's a super back, or you call him whatever the hell you want to call him. But he does everything. Well, he's catching the football now is Kyle Juszczyk. He's running the football. He's doing all of the things that you thought he was going to do when you signed him to that 5-year, $21 million deal or whatever it was in the offseason. Now Marquise Goodwin looking like a viable option at the receiver position because he's the best you got. Well, he's performing like it. Garrett Selleck, all of a sudden, making big plays, big catch and run. I mean, this offense is coming to life, and it's because of Jimmy G. The thing that has impressed me the most with him, it's his ability to throw off balance, flat-footed, stare down the gun barrel, and still make accurate throws of the football. Man, I can't tell you how many times he is rolling out of the pocket and he just has to stop, go flat-footed, throw the football, throw it accurately. Or he drops back, surveying the field, a guy's coming in his face, and he just goes flat-footed and wings it. And it's a rope right to the receiver. Or he's a guy that is knowing he's going to take a shot, staring down the gun barrel. I got to stand in here just a tick longer for this slant to get open and get into that window behind the linebacker and in front of that corner in this zone coverage. I've got to stay here just a tick longer, but damn, that linebacker is bearing down on me. I'm still going to stand in here and deliver the football. He did that on a particular play, took a shot, helmet to helmet. They called a 15-yard penalty, personal foul, a roughing the passer penalty, but he still delivered the rock, and it was like an 18-yard game with 15 attached to it. That's what he brings to this offense, his ability to wing it flat-footed from different angles. It's amazing. He's a sneaky athlete, too. The only thing I want to see him work on and progress on is getting rid of the football. He does a really good job of eating it, not forcing it or throwing an interception at an inopportune time. However, he takes unnecessary sacks. He runs around. He thinks, okay, I can outflank this edge, this corner or this defensive end, and he's getting sacked, or he's running around in circles, and you're like, Jimmy, just throw it away. You're out of the pocket. Get it past the line of scrimmage, throw it away, live to fight another day. And he's taking 18, 8-yard sacks and making it 2nd and 18. But they're overcoming 2nd and 18 because he's good enough to do that, which in past weeks and years with this organization, you get in 2nd and 18, you're punting the football because you're not good enough to overcome that. They're making big plays, chunk plays, which Kyle Shanahan's offense is set up to have a ton of chunk plays where you're getting that with Jimmy Garoppolo for the 2nd consecutive week. I think he threw for over 300 last week. I know he threw for over 300 this week. You're getting those chunk plays because he's able to hit guys in stride so that they don't have to break step and continue to run with the football after the catch. That is a staple of a Kyle Shanahan offense. Hit guys in stride so that they can run after the catch. Kyle does a phenomenal job of orchestrating the offense and setting it up in a way that guys are going to come free and be open. You just got to be able to hit them and give them a chance to make plays after the catch. Jimmy G is doing that. He's been so impressive. Again, standing flat-footed, throwing the football with steam on it, with a little bit of hot sauce to go, but being accurate while doing so has been, to me, his most redeeming quality thus far, and his ability to be tough. Stand in the pocket, take a shot, deliver the football. Those are things that are going to win your teammates over, and those are things that are going to help him succeed in this league and in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Thought he was phenomenal in this game, and other guys around him are picking up their play because they see number 10 coming in, making plays and helping this team win ball games. You get to the defense. I thought they had a little bit of a lapse in this game with DeAndre Hopkins. Who doesn't have their hands full with DeAndre Hopkins? That being said, I thought you did a good job of getting after the Texans quarterbacks and, more importantly, stopping their run game. Don't allow their backups to come in and be comfortable because they can run the football and be in third and manageable situations. You took away the run game. You forced them to have to throw it. You got after their quarterback, especially late when this game was still in the balance and the Texans were looking to get back in. You had a great sequence there where you were able to get pressure on the quarterback, and you got a sack, then you got pressure, and they were forced to punt the football. So this defense slowly but surely coming along. They've got a ways to go. Still looking to acquire more talent, but they're coming along, and this was a nice win for them on the road versus the Texans. A game that I thought they would be able to get, and they got it, and that's a good sign for this team that they're moving in the right direction. I think they might have found their quarterback of the future in Jimmy Garoppolo, and you're not going to have to spend as much to keep him, which is also a great coup for this 49ers football team as well. The Texans, meanwhile, they continue to struggle. The receiver position is their biggest strength. With Hopkins and Will Fuller healthy, they've got a dynamic 1-2 punch. They've got enough stuff at receiver to be dangerous. The running back position, when healthy, which they're not, that's something that feels like it's settled. The offensive line is going to have to be revamped. You're going to have to fix that in the offseason. The quarterback position, you feel good about your investment in Deshaun Watson. He's just got to get healthy. But defensively, I worry about this team. I know you got a ton of injuries, and I know that this is a patchwork defense at this point. You get Cushing back, and that's nice, but this defense, you're getting old in the secondary. At least Jonathan Joseph is getting up there in age, and I think he can be beat. He makes some plays here and there, but I think he can be beat. Kareem Jackson, I think he had a pick in this game, if I'm not mistaken, but in any event, he's solid. I don't think the Johnson kid is all that. So I worry about him a little bit. The linebacker position, I think you'll be just fine there. As you get everybody back, you'll be fine at the linebacker position. The defensive line, I think, leaves a lot to be desired. Of course, Watt, when he comes back, helps. But now you got to start questioning his ability to stay healthy. And I look around at the rest of that defensive line, and I just see a bunch of guys. So we'll see. We'll see about this team. And now I worry about your kicking situation because Fairbairn at the beginning of the season was making everything. Now he's missing a ton of kicks. including a kick that would have given you a chance to cut it to a one-score game and stay in this game. That miss late was backbreaking because it kept the deficit at 10, two-score game, and with a little amount of time left, you just needed that kick to go in. And I think he missed another 2 kicks in this game, and if I'm not mistaken, he missed an extra point too. So Fairbairn is a guy you got to keep your eye on. He's struggling. I want to see him get his act together because I think he can actually be a really solid kicker for you, but he's struggling right now, to say the least. But in any event, 49ers go on the road, get an impressive 26-16 win. Jimmy Garoppolo is the story in San Francisco right now as he continues to play good football under Kyle Shanahan's tutelage. Meanwhile, the Texans lose another quarterback, and now they're down to Tyler Jonathan Yates at the quarterback position. Nuke continues to mosey along, though. Doesn't matter who's under center, he's still catching rocks. It's just a problem. They just don't have enough around the rest of this team to help Nuke find ways to win ball games. They don't get it done. 26-16. They drop to 4-9 on the season. Do the Texans? 5-8 on the season. Do the Texans? Or is it 4-9? I might be right. I'm trying to think. What were they on Monday night when they were trying to stay in the playoff hunt? I think they were 5 and. I think they're trying to get to 5 wins, so I think they're 4-9. So we'll go with 4-9. And the Niners get to 3-10 on the season. Let's get to some comments, if there are any out there. And there aren't none. There aren't any, I should say. So I get a freebie this time. It's going to do it for your man, Louie T. Thank you for joining me here on this program. Niners get to win 26-16 over the Texans. Win their second straight for the first time in 2 years. It's been a while. Now they're playing confident football, and now they think they can go on the road next week against Tennessee and win again. And you know what? That might actually be a home game. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. But in any event, they think they can win that game. Wherever it is, home, away, they think they've got a legitimate shot at beating the Titans next week. And with the way the Titans are playing, I can't say that they're wrong. Jimmy Garoppolo is playing outstanding football, that's for sure. For the Texans, it's going to continue to be a rough season. Off-season may be rough. You may fire your coach and GM, among other things. We'll see what happens, but in any event, you lose again. You're 4-9 on the season after losing to the San Francisco 49ers at home. I'm your man, Louie T. Join me for more lockdown coverage. Plenty more to come. I'm going to continue to break down these games, knock them down one by one. If you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Louie T Network for more great content in 17 and beyond. We changing the game. I want you to help us do that by simply hitting that subscribe button. I've got more games to break down, so don't you go anywhere. I'll be right back. Like, seriously, I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. More lockdown coverage to come.